YouTube, we back at it. It's Thursday, October 24th. How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing this beginning of Scorpio season? Big vibes. I'm definitely not one of those Scorpios who be like overly Scorpio-ish. I don't even know if that's a thing, but yeah, definitely not one of those people that just be like, my sign is the best. I think I said this actually in the last video. Every sign you can learn from, every sign, every person, every energetical force, every energy has potential to teach you something. You can learn what to do or you can learn what not to do from literally everyone. But yes, we are in Scorpio season. I think 2 days in Scorpio season. Tomorrow will make 2 days, I guess, because I think it starts the 23rd. Different sources say different things. But yes, I hope everybody's enjoying their Thursday. 1 hour from Friday morning. Y'all know me, gotta get the Palo Santo going, gotta get the Palo Santo vibes going. But yeah, man, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is in a place of clarity, and if not, putting the energy to get to a place of clarity. So as y'all can see on the title, this video is about potentially why time off and or the weekend is keeping you broke. And I will say this for people who don't work on the weekend or people who feel like they're working less on the weekend, as in they don't have that like, let's work, let's go and get this money, let's be focused on the weekend. For my people who work Saturday and Sunday, this really won't apply for you. So this is mostly for those people who are like M through Fers, 9 through 5ers, M through Fers. And I will say this also applies to people who are on their days off. So maybe your weekend might be a Tuesday and Wednesday, and you work, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And your weekend is a Tuesday and Wednesday. And I said it right. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Tuesday and Wednesday you work, or whatever 2 days back to back. But that 2-day break is probably what's keeping you broke. That 2-day break of the weekend is what's keeping you broke. And I might title this that. But those 2 days, that 2-day break is keeping you broke. And I said that before, I think on one of my IG quotes. Oh yeah, like, subscribe, follow, tap in. We need more people to listen. We need more people to be involved with just the knowledge that I'm sharing. Please, I don't give a fuck. You say this, you know what I'm saying? I just want somebody to say this, and I feel like I was given the enlightenment to think like this, feel like this, live like this, and really be about that life, because I really am about this life, you know what I'm saying? This is the demonstration that I live by. This is the demo, if you really know the lingo. But yes, please, everyone play your part, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I had an Instagram quote some time ago. I don't know, I can't recollect the time, y'all, but I had said, break is too close to broke. You know what I'm saying? So with that mentality, I was treating my mind and programming my mind to just take breaks, but realize when you're taking a break, you have to take a break with the intention of coming back with more intention and more concentration and more attention. So you have to have more intention with your attention, if that makes sense. So you be more intentional about what you will be paying attention to. And the moment you become more intentional about what you pay attention to, your life changes. Sorry, I know I keep it real time. I don't be, let me stop, professional for a video. Like, even when we get nice, because all we're doing when we're having thoughts is we're taking and we're checking out thoughts from the library of the universe. So every thought that will ever be thought or ever has been thought or will be thought in the future is already dwelling out there in the universe, just floating around somewhere. You just ain't thought about it. Every idea that will ever be thought about to the end of fucking time is already out there. You have just not made that connection yet. So I like to be spur of the moment, in the moment. If someone calls to me, I'm like, I don't want to forget it. I like not writing things down because I love writing things down. I'm an author, but at the same time, I don't write things down just for my muscle memory and my brain and the synapses in my neurons to keep working so I can work my muscles in my brain. But sometimes certain things, I'm just like, let me write that down. So that's something I'm gonna put down. If you are more intentional about what you pay attention to, then, okay, I think That's what it is. And I might make a whole nother video about that. Be more intentional about your attention. There you go. Like, I'm learning how to speak short and be straight to the point, because everybody's attention span is like that, and I get it. But like what Wayne said, he said, I paid attention until attention paid me. You know what I'm saying? Dropping bars, easy to go. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about all the other stuff he tried to do, but lyrically, he's definitely top 5. Be more intentional about your attention. So when you become more intentional, be more intentional about your attention, then you are okay if you're taking those breaks. So if you're taking those breaks and you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna take some time, take 5 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm gonna take a day off. On this day off, I will totally relax. And when I come back, I'll be more aligned with my goals, and I will be more centered and focused on where I want my life to go and what a direction I want my life to go in. Because as you've probably heard, and if you haven't heard and you're in this the first time, where you expend your attention and what you focus on grows. What you pay attention to grows. And money follows attention. Attention follows energy. Energy is money. It's all this one big thing that's interconnected, which I have a book on that coming out. It's called Money is an Art, and it's going to be a great one, y'all. But if you come back from your break, or if you're not even come back, if you are in your break or even prior to your break, because planning is a part of preparation and power. So if you go into your break, if you go into your weekends with the mentality of saying, I am doing these things to get this feeling out of, and it will help me align myself, then I'm all for those breaks. But break is too close to broke for me, because I did not want to let up enough to where I feel like I lost momentum. Like, that's just me personally. When I'm on breaks and I'm taking breaks, I feel like I have to get that momentum again. And momentum is powerful. I think it should probably be like the 9th wonder of the world or something. I think Einstein or Warren Buffett had said compound interest is like this 8th wonder of the world. How many ever wonders there are? There was an extra one, and the compound interest was that. So I think they need to add momentum to that extra one, because like momentum, the lack thereof, or momentum can either build or break you, you know, or kill you or destroy you, because it's just such an uphill battle once you finally just get something going and you stop and you're like, I gotta start it again. My bad, I'm just writing these quotes, y'all. Keep them going. Like, got this whole little rollout too for y'all, 2 quotes of the day. Y'all hearing them, just boom, 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 dropping. Y'all gonna be flooding YouTube. You know what I'm saying? With everything, these shorts, just flooding y'all, just to remind this, to keep this seed in y'all mind. But yes, break is too close to broke. So for me, I didn't want to have that momentum and that momentum be lost. Hopefully it's not too loud, y'all. My AC just turned on, so. But it's too close to being broke. So I went and I just kept doing what I kept doing, and I had something called micro breaks. And I think micro breaks are important for people who are like me, who are like what Jordan Peterson says, hyper efficient. If you're someone who's hyper efficient, then it's a very beneficial practice to implement and include micro breaks within your daily routine and your daily regimen and throughout your day and your schedule. So you can get that return on energy and return on time from just having that micro break. And a micro break, in my opinion, can be anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I would say 15 max. Once you start getting to the half mark of half an hour, then your hours are chopped. And an hour is important, especially if you're not getting paid for not using your time and you're getting paid, or especially if you are getting paid for using your time. If you're not getting paid for using your time, then the time doesn't exist. You already transcended beyond the level of the first level of money in creating value, which is just getting paid to use your arms and use your physical body and use your time, trading your time for your money, trading your time for your energy. Trading your energy for your money as well. So if you're beyond that, then you know, an hour doesn't really matter as much. But if you are beyond that, then an hour matters much to you, because you realize how important your time is. So with that being said, I wouldn't recommend doing 30 minutes for a micro break. I would say 5 to 15, 20 minutes max. 15, preferably somewhere between 10 and 15. So those are the type of breaks that I encourage. But let's get down to the what they say, the meat and potatoes. I think the meat and potatoes of this conversation today, we're already 10 minutes in. Those breaks are keeping you broke. That 2-day break is keeping you broke, because what it is that whether you want to be at work or not, during that 5-day period, or let's just say, I'm speaking on average because most people are not doing the 7 days a week, 60 hours a week. And if you are, then that's really a fucking problem then. Because if you're working that much and you are not getting enough money to where you can take breaks, to where you feel like it's not hurting you to take a break, then you are really getting paid. You're not getting paid that much money. Or you're on the other side to where you're just a slave for your company. You're still a slave, and freedom is the goal, so you're not getting paid. So to me, it doesn't matter if you're getting paid $500,000 and you're trading your time and you have none of your energy and time in your life. You're still broke, because the real value of anything is freedom and options. The real value isn't money. So when I say I'm not broke, I'm saying I'm not broke because I have the energy and the time to do what I want to do. Now, if you compare myself to millionaire status or 500,000 status or whatever, then no, I don't have that. I'm not there. But I'm rich because I have the value of being able to say, you know what? For an hour, I want to work on writing one of my books. For an hour, I want to go on a walk. Or for an hour, I want to go to the gym. Like, I've gotten to the place and been able to be blessed to the place to where I have a form of income that allows me to not even leave my house for 2 weeks if I don't want to. If I was going to only go to the grocery store and maybe go to the gym for 2 weeks, but I don't have to leave. So that's more valuable than the person who gets paid a lot and they always have to travel, always have to go somewhere. Because it's like, first of all, you can only do so much of that over a certain amount of time, even if they're paying you a large amount of money. So back to what I was saying. You have to understand that if you are on that schedule and you have those 2 days off, most likely, unless you really are on the path, those days are keeping you broke, because your mind goes from, I'm at a place I don't want to be at and I have to be here, so I have to focus and do as best as I can, or this system that I'm blessed to be in, honestly, it's a blessing. They will remove my ass from this system and replace me. So you're going to perform and do what you got to do, or if not, then you should leave anyway, because you're going to get fired eventually. So you're already being there in a form of obligation, kind of, because you don't want to be there. So then when you're not in that place, you're just on the edge of your seat, like, okay, when is Friday coming? When is Friday? So then you don't even have that mentality of financial literacy and to stay on the plan, because you're so opposite of what the plan is, which if you were embracing your job for more than what it was, and just a part of the puzzle and not the whole thing, and it was a small part of the big picture, if you had some idea of what the big picture was, then you would put so much more emphasis on how much respect you had on just your job in general and the time that you spend there for 5 days out of the week or whatever time that is. And then you wouldn't see it as just it being a singular part of your life that's disruptive to your wellness and your peace and your overall goal. And you would see it as being a part of the goal. And really without it, the goal doesn't exist, because it's a vital step in the path. It's a vital stone in the path. A stepping stone, so it's a vital stone in the path and the steps to where you want to be. But instead, most people don't know the big picture. They don't have the path paved out to even place the stone in there to know where they want to go. So when they finally get on the edge of this, when they finally get out of work, they're rushing out of work, and then they're doing everything, and they're rewarding themselves by digging a deeper hole. So let me explain that to you. I got to keep this Palo Santo going. Could we righteous right now? This is righteous. So what I'm saying is, people who are financially literate, and I can consider myself to be, if financial literacy is a level of like superb advanced, then I'm like one level below that. Like, my discipline is getting there. You know, I'm just working on my passive income increasing. So people who are superb financial literacy, my bad, I'm looking at this camera. So people who have superb financial literacy, they understand that they don't have to reward themselves for hard work, because the hard work is rewarding them anyway. So they don't have to find a reason to say, you know what, I worked 5 days a week, 40 hours at a place that I hate. Now let me go do something and make myself feel like it was worth it. the fact that they've already have the right mentality and they already have disciplined themselves enough to understand why they are there, and it shows everywhere else in their life and it translates everywhere else in their life because their intention is in the right place with their attention, then they don't have to run away. They don't have to run somewhere and say, you know what, I'm gonna go and blow this bonus check that I just got and go spend, 5 days in Jamaica and then come back and be back on the rat race in the hamster wheel again and be miserable. And then all you have to show for that shit is some fucking pictures that'll really make you depressed because you can't get back there again as soon as you want. You have to figure out how to get back there. And it's like, it reminds me of my book, Have Your Happiness. Go buy that, Amazon, Have Your Happiness. I promise y'all, I'm not gonna come to this motherfucker no more without having my books in the video to flash to y'all real quick. But bear with me, these videos gonna get better over time. It's back rough before. If you go back to my older ones, I had a studio set up. We got to a better spot financially, so we're maneuvering some things. But yes, y'all, I got y'all. But Have Your Happiness talks about how not having something outside of you dictate or control how you view your happiness, and how your happiness is being circulated throughout your body and circulated throughout your mind, how it connects to you on an emotional level. So it makes me think, like, if you just only thing you have to show for these trips in your work is, well, the only thing I had to show for my work was the cruise that I went on. Then the only thing I have to show for the cruise is the pictures that I have of it, and now I'm back in the circle just trying to get out of this place again so I can find another picture to take, so I can have something else to remind me of some motivation. I mean, and if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, that's just a Band-Aid. It doesn't fix it. So you will always just be like working for the sake of getting a feeling that's going to be fleeting anyway, instead of you sacrificing and saying, you know what, if I do this, there's potential for me to be able to have this without as much effort, if not a limited, very, very limited amount of effort to make this accessible to me. Like, people are always talking about staycations, vacations. Only vacation I want is a motherfucking vacation. If it's not a vacation, then I'm not booking no flights. If the flight not booked for me, I'm not coming. If they're not chartering a jet, I'm not even on that level yet to where I can pay $50,000 for a jet, to have a charter jet. But I know I want it the way I want it because it makes sense the way I think it should make sense, and the people that I aspire to become like, and the ones who I have been mentored by and appointed myself their mentee, shit, this is the way they do it. It makes sense to me. So there's no point to have to rush from a place that you feel miserable from by going to dig a hole that's going to keep you in the same place. So that's why the 2-day break is keeping you broke, and the break is too close to broke, because all you're doing is just starting the clock of depth and pain. And when I say depth, it's DEPT, and pain and hardship and unhappiness. And I mean, you can still be at a job you don't like and be happy. So I don't like using that word, because the first book I wrote was Have Your Happiness for that purpose of understanding what I believe happiness is. But you allowing yourself to be unhappy because you're at this place, and then the only reward that you have is like right at 4:59 or whatever the time you fucking clock out on a Friday, or whatever time you start your 2-day weekend or your break. And whether that's sporadic and it's back-to-back 2 days, or it's a day here and a day there. I've worked at a job in sales, and I was off on a Sunday and I was off on a Wednesday. And even then, I still had that vacation mentality where I was like, I don't care. I'm like, we about to keep our foot on the pedal through the motherfucking flow, boy. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand that you having this mentality of being miserable in a place and doing something that you don't love, doing something that you don't want to do, probably around people that you don't want to be around, regardless of how you got there, that doesn't matter. It matters only for the purpose of looking back at to correct your mistakes and say that you'll never do it again. But beyond that, it doesn't matter. I say I drive cars that don't have no rearview mirrors because I'm not looking back. And the reason because that is I only look at the past for lessons. It's the only reason why I reflect on the past. Sometimes I get a little nostalgia, all my little babies when they was little, but even with my kids, I'm like, cool. I had that age with y'all, that was fine. I love where we at now, where we about to go. And I'm just built like that. So if you are looking at your past and where you came from, use it for motivation, but it doesn't matter where you came from beyond that or how you got to where you're at. Just know that right now, if you're in a place where you don't like where you're at, you don't like work, you see yourself like wandering off, trying to do other things. Man, I'm so grateful for where I work and what I do for a living. And because I know I'm an entrepreneur and I'm someone who's meant to own $100 million companies, I still find myself just wandering off, and I'm doing several things to get myself there and making money from several other things that's outside of my job in the smallest amount of increments because it's the seed. So it's like, well, how about you? Instead of going on the weekends and rushing to get out the weekends, I feel like you got to reward yourself by going to some drinks, going to some parties, hanging with your friends. And this is really, man, this is for men and women, but women, I know y'all like to have a lot of fun. Girls just want to have fun. Cyndi Lauper said it in the fucking 80s before I was even born. Just a few years before I was born, y'all. Like, I don't mind putting my age out there. But women, y'all need to control yourselves as well if this is the life that you want, because I know that, or anybody with feminine energy, men, if men have feminine energy and you in a same-sex relationship, a same-sex marriage, and you're the feminine person in a relationship, then try to control yourself so you can understand, because those temptations are there for you to want to go out and say, oh, you know what, I worked all week. I need to go out and spend time with my friends, my girls. They're all out. One girl's going through some BS. She's crying. It's like, most likely you need to check in with your homegirl from a phone call, tap in with her. And if she's been crying for like the last 2 weeks and she's going through some bullshit, she's probably going to keep going through it. So just give her a phone call, tell her you love her, FaceTime her, all that. But that whole, I got to push, like, meet up with you to go have drinks to celebrate my pain, celebrate your pain, that only lasts for so long till y'all two just down out motherfuckers on the side of the road. Y'all just both drowning together and nobody has a lifeboat or a raft. So the point of this conversation is to understand that if you don't like what you're doing when you're not at work, when you are at work, then when you're not at work, instead of trying to reward yourself by spending more money that you probably don't have, wasting time that you really don't have, because if you don't have the money to buy your time back, then you don't have the time to waste in the first place, then you need to be figuring out a way of getting yourself out of that situation to where you're not going to feel miserable anymore, whether it's Monday through Monday. It doesn't matter. Where you can wake up and be like, you know what? Today I'm living purposeful. Today I am being intentional about my attention. And it's going to be in a manner that I feel aligns with me the best. And I say this for everything. If you don't fucking know what aligns with you the best, you should be spending all your time trying to figure that out anyway. And it's not going to be solely in you trying to detach from the thing that makes you feel miserable, because that's fear. It's not gonna go away because you're not looking at your job. You need to stare your job in the fucking face and be like, why is this place giving me the ick? Why do I not like being here? And stare it in the face and get so stuck with that feeling that you take it everywhere that you go, and you're not looking for nothing to numb that. See, that's what's wrong with society. People don't grow because all they do is put Band-Aids and numbing aid on the thing that can actually make them evolve if they just got fucking sick to their stomach with it. So I hope y'all understand that. Those 2 days, that break is going to keep you broke if you're looking forward to the break. And if you're not doing what I said earlier, oh yeah, make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow, share. But if you're not looking forward to the break with the intention of saying, I am being intentional about my attention and where I place it, and seeing that this aligns with my exit strategy, because that's all you're trying to do is find an extra strategy out of the miserable life that you created for yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're at a certain age, you created for yourself. If you're like 15, 16, 17, whatever, if you're like 25-ish, you still get a little bit of a little leeway, because in my mind, after being older and getting in my, 30s and everything, I realize you're still young as hell in America, because we evolve slow as fuck here now. Like, we're baby. So even if you're 20, you still got some excuse like, okay, I made a lot of mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But when you start getting over 25, early 30s, mid 30s, it's like you need to figure out how to get yourself out of a shitty life that you made. And that requires attention and time and intention. All right. And I keep saying the thing over and over again because, I've said it before, but it clicked like a light bulb today. And it's like, wow, you need to be intentional about your attention. And that's very important. That's very, very important. And when you do that, I promise you, you're going to say, oh, you know what? There's no point for me to go to the club and the bar. And there's no point for me to go sit at the park with my homegirls and sit here and talk and drink wine, or go out with the bros and watch a game and go get some beer, because I know before you know it, I'll be back at the warehouse, or I'll be back at the office, or I'll be back at my desk again, sitting down in my crib. Even if you got a remote job in my crib, if you're not aligned with the thing that you're doing and it doesn't fulfill you from the inside of your core and your essence, then a change needs to happen. Because the people that are these two things, the people that feel like they're living their life's purpose, and the people that feel like they're living their life's purpose and they're financially well, because you can never omit money. I grew up in a household that didn't omit money, but they didn't talk about it. So essentially they omitted money from the conversation and made it seem like it was nothing. And money is not everything, but it's in everything. It's in the Bible. It's in every religion. It's in everything. So the people that are lined up, or the people that feel like they're fulfilling their purpose from the inside, and that purpose has something to do with the freedom that they get financially, because the doors open, you have options, and you can do whatever you feel like you desire, especially if you are doing it with the right intention. So if you don't have that, and you're not saying that you're on the path to figure that out, and you're not there yet, then you need to make sure that you are intentional about your attention when it comes to getting to that 2-day break, y'all. If it's 3 days, 2 days, and if you're working fucking part-time, you really need to get on it, because then you don't even have nothing to keep you grounded financially to help you even survive, to be an average person out here, just to pay bills, like to exist, just to be the most basic level in one of the richest countries in the world of all time. So I think I got my point across, y'all. The 2 days keeping you broke, the breaks are keeping you broke. Be more intentional about your attention. So when you do get to those 2 days, you're not rushing to them and you're on the edge of your seat biting your nails like, okay, when is Friday getting here? Yes. Because that's too extreme, y'all. That is too extreme. You're miserable in one place. I talked to my little boy about that, but he's fucking 10. He's 11, about to go on 11. I was telling him since he was 8, I was like, puppies, especially for men, especially for masculine energy, it's not good for us to be extreme. You don't want to be in the extremes. And me, I'm a Scorpio. Lower level Scorpios don't understand there is a gray area. Lower level Scorpios just think there's black and white. Everything's either this or that. And it's like, it's not like that. Sometimes there is the gray area, which might just actually be the journey to the white, or might be the journey to the black. So the journey to the black and the white could just be the gray. And sometimes you might have to just live in that gray area just to figure out where you're going and which side you're trying to get to identify who you are. Hence the gray era that I'm in right now. So pay attention. There's no point for you to have that extreme volatility within your life and within your emotions, because that's madness. That's not mental health. That's not financial health. That's not spirituality. And that's really not where you need to be in your life if you know there's something else that's calling you. If you don't feel like there's something that's calling you, then you definitely need to start working on what I'm talking about even more. But if you know there's something out there that you feel like you should be doing, then that volatility should not be there. So make sure you're intentional about your attention, y'all, and how you spend your time, and making sure that you're not rushing to spend money, spend time, and spend energy that you essentially don't have. So thank y'all. Hope this point got across. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, share. As usual, I would say share. Not because it's my page, not because it's not my channel, not because it's my words, not because it's my thoughts, just because I believe that the things that I say, other people feel and want to say as well, and I'm just a voice and a vessel. So hopefully you can be the one saying it. Hopefully you can be the one telling somebody else, even if you don't share my video. Hopefully you end up saying it to them. And if you do get the chance, of course, share. We always gonna keep it real. But thank y'all. Remember to stay well, be conscious, and write your world into existence. Love.